Walked in the mountain fields in autumn on a rough-made hut. The dewdrops are passing birds, tears no doubt. If when people call at the house, I tell my girls to reply, "Lady, sir, is not at home. Don't think it just a lie. For the truth is, I no longer know who's there when I say I. If I were only sure I could live as long as I wanted to, I would not have to weep as parting from you. Fields of autumn when I see the flowers, my heart it feels like it's completely content. Or maybe it yearns to lead me forever and ever. I am caught in love's web, so deceitful. None of my endeavors turn fruitful. I knew not when I rode the high-blooded steed. The harder I pulled its reins, the less it would heed. Love is an ocean with such a vast space. No wise man can swim it in any place. A true lover should be faithful till the end and face life's reprobated trend. When you see things hideous, fancy them neat. Eat poison but taste sugar so sweet. Up he stands to declare the darkness, a dun for of a bird, trimmed with a poppy who rolls his lustrous eyes for us. With song he calls to prayer, and he complies with his call, beating his great plumes, flexing his shoulder knuckles. The emperor of Persia perhaps wove his crown. Personally, Mary the Copt, hung pendant arranged from his ears, he snatched from the peacock his most attractive cloak, and still not converted, he struck from a duck. The king on the rampart flies, the white flag deep within the palace. How could I have known? 140,000 all disarmed. Among these there was not a single man. There was not a single man. Love came and flew as blood in my veins, emptied me of myself and filled me with beloved. Each part of my being she conquered. Now a mere name is left to me, and the rest is she. Indeed, a mountain brook of Babylon is all I hear. Over the many stone palace, swift as the current, would I return to the days. I saw how I wish it could be so. Well, there I go, a mountain cherry, through the drifted mist, faintly seen. Thus there is a lady I long for all the more. I long for all the more. I am lioness, and will never allow my body to be anyone's resting place. But if I did, I wouldn't yield to a dog, and all the lions I've turned away. They shaved his head to clothe him in ugliness, out of jealousy and fear of his beauty. They erased the night and left him in the dawn. On Mount Agora's peak he is wont to stand. The Beltland stag has passed many an autumn, the number no one can tell. Much have I labored, much read o'er of Arabic and Persian lore, collecting tales unknown and known. Now 260 years are flown, 260 years are flown. Regret and deeper woe is sin, 'tis all that youth has ended in. And I with mournful thoughts rehearse, but to her a cut Watney's verse. I mind me of my youth and sigh. Alas for youth gone by. Why, oh why I cry? There was no color to my heart. Both of you it is dyed, and now that it might fade is beyond my imagination. And its double skirt and wrapped, there is all I ever clapped eyes on, as when eyelids close over slumberful repose, opened to the light of the day by a dagger, you might say. 'Tis the pupil of an eye, whetted on its lid to spy. Inwardly it doth appear, soft and rounded as an ear, and to make my image true, with its convulsions too. Well, there I go, speaking to you, Kay Corso, sat in a garden bright, with all the beauties of balmy spring, and many a warrior armed delight dight with a stout command. and an arm of might support a Persia's king would tremble in my end, and a patlet cheek, a breathless hind, to the a presence ran, and not on bended knee, and posture meek, with faltering tongue, that scarce could speak, his story thus begun. Alackaday, for the news I bear, will like the fault lace of fancy sound. Thy steeds were stabled and stalled with care, when a wild ass sprang from its forest lair, with a swift, resistless bound. A monster fell of a dusky hue, and eyes that flashed with hellish glow. Many it maimed, and some it slew. The black to the forest again it flew, as an arrow leaves the bow. Kay Corso's rage was a sight to see. Now curses light on the foul fiend's head, full rich and rare will his guerdon be, whose stalwart arm will bring to me monster alive or dead. But the mail-clad warriors kept their ground, and their bronze cheeks were blanched with fear. As scorn shot on the cowards frowned. One champion bold may yet be found, while Rostam wields a spear. No Tyrian made a son Azael, small reck had he of the fiercest fray, but promptly came at the monarch's call, and swore that monster fiend would fall ere he closed the common day. Swift rush of sides he spurred, and speedily gained the darksome wood, nor was trial for long deferred. But soon a hideous roar was heard, had chilled a baser blood. The dent darted out like a flash and flame, traverse his path, wild ass fled, and the hero then, with unerring aim, hurled his stout command. But as erst it came, unscathed monster fled, and then darting out like a flash and flame, traverse his path, the wild ass fled, and the hero then, with unerring aim, hurled his stout command. But as erst it came, unscathed monster fled. Now God in heaven, bold Rostam cried, thy chosen champion dying to save, deemed to save not all in vain, will my steel be tried, though he who my powers has of us defied, by none but Ek Van Div. Then steadily chasing his fiendish foe, he thrust his haner with hanery smote, with brand, but ever avoiding the deadly blow. It vanished away like the scenes that show on a backs of the loose of sand, for full free, wearisome nights and days. Stoutly he battled with warlike skill, but demon such magical shifts essays, that leaving his courser at large to graze, he rest him on a mill, on a hill, but scare can slumber his eyelids close, ere Ak Van Div from afar espies, and never disturbing his foes oppose I suppose, the earth from under the mound, our afroze, and off with the summits flies. Now dark and mortal demon cried, whither wouldst have me captive thee? Will I cast thee forth on mountainside, where lions roar and reptiles glide, or hurl thee into the sea? Oh, bear me off to the mountainside, where lions roar and serpents creep, for I fear not the creatures that spring or glide, but where is the arm that can stem the tide, or still the raging deep? Loud laughed the fiend, as his load he threw, far plunging into the roaring flood, and louder laughed Rostam as out he flew, for he fain had chosen the sea, but knew of the fiend's malignant mood. Soon all the monsters that float or swim with ravening jaws down on him bore, but he hewed and hacked them limb from limb, and the wave pellucid grew thick and dim, with streaks of crimson gore. The thankful bosom he gains the strand, and seeketh his courser near and far, till he sears him nay, and he sees him stand among the herds of a Tartar band. The steeds of his fancy are, but Rostam's name was the sound of dread, and the Tartar herd it has caused to quake. The herd was there, but the hens has fled, so all the horses he captive led, for good keep Corso's sake. Then loud again through the forest rings, the fiendish laugh and the taunting cry. But his cat mad quickly the hero flings, and around demon it coils and clings, as a cobweb wraps a fly. Keep Corso sat in his garden there, mourning this champion lost and dead, when a shout of victory rent the air, and Rostam placed before his chair a demon giant's head, spitting rapping poetry again. I said, never ends inside of my head. The lyrics begin. I said, again and again. On the mornings they left, we said goodbye, filled with sadness for the absence to come. Inside the paddling quins, on the camels' backs, I saw their faces beautiful as moons, behind veils of gold cloth. Beneath the veils, tears crept like scorpions over the fragrant roses of their cheeks. These scorpions do not harm the cheek they mark. They save their strain for the heart of the sorrowful lover forever. Every night I scan the heavens with my eyes. Seeking the star that you are contemplating. I question travelers from the four corners of the earth, hoping to meet one who has breathed your fragrance. When the wind blows, I make sure it blows in my face. The breeze might bring me news of you. I wander over roads without aim, without purpose. Perhaps a song will sound your name. Secretly I study every face I see, hoping against hope to glimpse a trace of your beauty. Yes, indeed, scattered and drifted are the leaves from the trees, and beneath is a forgotten stream. How unclear it seems, appearing only now and then, again and again. The goblets were heavy when they were brought to us, but filled with fine wine. They became so light, they were on the point of flying away with all their contents, just as our bodies are lightened by the spirits. A man runs toward the grave, and rivers hasten to the great deep. The end of all living is their death, and the pathless in time becomes a heap. Nothing is further than the day gone by, and nothing nearer than the day to come, and both are far, far away from the man hidden in the heart of the tomb. Through the loom many great men dwelt in that city, their faces shone with pure faith. They worked together to promote religion and belief in Allah, and overt and covert ways. Many were renowned for their virtue and generosity, and jealousy preserved their respectability. And when darkness fell, you would seek them deep in prayer like chaste monks in the Garden of Eden, that honorable place among the beautiful hours of boys, thanks to its tribunes. Keruan was ranked among the world's greatest. She outranked Egypt, that was fair enough, and left Baghdad well behind when the city greatly prospered and attracted ambitious pioneers, as she became a place for all virtues, as well as safety and faith. Time looked at her with envious eyes and kept many sorrows in store, till destiny had decided to unleash the unavoidable troubles caused by various clans that belonged to the Banu Hilal. They massacred the Prophet's nation in the fight Allah's punishment during the Ramadan. They violated former treaties and those under Allah's protection. Allah protection without keeping the word. They preferred to deceive their neighbors and take their women as prisoners of war. They tortured them in the cruelest manner and let a rancor show through their hearts. The Muslims were divided and humiliated at the hands of these unfaithful. Some were tortured or could do nothing. Others were killed or put in prison. They called for help, but nobody came. No help ever came. And when they couldn't yell or cry anymore, they gathered all their belongings and valuables, whether gold, silver, pearls, rare ornaments, or crockery. They went out on bare feet, begging Allah, please, Allah, to protect them and overcome their fear. They fled with their infants, their children, their widows, and their spouses. They kept the virgins safe like gazelles, lest their beauty drive the enemy mad. Chaste beauties covered with shawls, like moons shining on willow trees. Sorrow will never disappear after such calamity, just as the eternal cycle of night and day will never end. If Mount Toplan had suffered the tenth of it, as high as peaks would have crumbled. All the cities of Iraq mourned her, as did the villages of Syria, Egypt, and Khorasan. Affliction and sorrow even reached the farthest countries of the Sindh Hind, and the land turned into a desert from Al Andalus to Halwan. I saw the stars rise, though they did not shine, nor did sun or moon. I saw mountains deeply afflicted, as were all humans and jinns. Even earth, because of this heavy burden, has now a definite lean. Will the nights, after they had separated us, bring us together again? Will they restore the land of Ketram and bring the city back to life again? After time has stolen its beauty and caused bloodshed among rival clans, it stands now as if it had never known riches, nor even ever been a sacred land. Time has duped its peoples and cut off the ties that used to bind them. Now they are scattered like sap-buzz peoples and are about the lands. Now we are far apart, one from the other. My heart has dried up, but my tears keep falling, and losing you, my days have turned black. When I was with you, even my nights were white. It's as though we never spent that night together, with no third presence, save our two selves made one. A night our lucky stars caused even gossips who would spy on us to turn away their eyes. We were two seekers held by the heart of darkness until the dawn, a friend to denounce us. The beautiful pool of Brimman eye, his thick eyelashes of flowers. The beautiful pool of Brimman eye, his thick eyelashes of flowers. Turtles cavort and their capes of green algae. Now they squabble on the bank. When winter comes, they'll dive below and hide. At play, they resemble Christian soldiers, wearing on their backs leather shields. With passion from this place, I remember you, rising clear, limpid, the face of earth, and when come twilight, desist. A tenderness sweeps me when I see the silver coiling waterways, the necklaces detached from Fro's delicious foes. Days we spent while fate slept. There was peace, I mean, and us thieves of pleasure, not only flowers with frost, but stems I see, and my eyes their vivid centers pull. They gaze back at me, seeking me, while sleeping a light flickers through their cups. In sympathy, I think the sun-baked rosebuds and bushes remember how their cutler had lit our morning air, and still breaths of wind dispense at break of day, and then perfume they gather up from water lilies' half-open drowsy eyes. Such fresh memories of you, these few things waken in my eye. For a fair away, as you are in the passion's grip. In this passion's grip I persist with a sigh, and pine to be at one with you. Please God, no calm or oblivion will occupy my heart or close it. Listen to the shiver of the wings at your side. It is my desire, and still I'm shaken with it. A pure love we once exchanged. It was an unfenced field, and we ran bare free, like horses but alone. I now can lay claim to have kept faith. You left this place in sorrow to be here again. I am loving you. Yes, it's true. I say to my chains, don't you understand? I have surrendered to you. I say to my chains, don't you understand? I have surrendered to you. By then have you no pity, no tenderness. You drank my blood, you ate my flesh. Don't crush my bones. My son Abu Hazium sees me fettered by you and turns away, his heart made sore. Have pity on an innocent boy who never knew fear and must now come begging to you. Have pity on his sisters, innocent like him, who have had to swallow poison and eat bitter fruit. Some of them are old enough to understand, and I fear they will go blind from weeping. The others are not too young to take it in and open their mouths only to nurse. Well, it hurts. All the knowledge in the universe, all the poetry in the universe, how it hurts. If white is the color of morning and Andalusia, and Andalusia is a proper custom. Look at me, I dressed myself in the way of white hair and mourning for youth. She is an immigrant from other lands. When she stretches out her ebony wings, shows her ivory body, opens her sandalwood beak, and laughs with great guffaws. It's a sign of good. Come spend the night in the country with me, my friend, you whom the stars above would gladly call their friend. For winters finally over, listen to the chatter of the doves, and swallows will lounge beneath the pomegranates, palm trees, apple trees, under every lovely leafy thing, and walk among the vines. Enjoy the splendid faces we will see in a lofty palace built of noble stones, resting solidly on thick foundations, its walls like towers fortified, set upon a flat place. Plains all around is splendid to look at from within its courts. Chambers constructed, adorned with carvings, open work and closed work, paving of alabaster, a paving of marble, gates so many that I can't even count them. Chamber doors paneled with ivory like palace doors, reddened with panels of cedar like the temple. Wide windows over them, and within those windows the sun and moon and stars has a dome too, like Solomon's Patlin queen, suspended like a jeweled room, turning and changing pearl, cutler, crystal, and marble in daytime, but in the evening seeming just like the night sky, all set with stars. It cheers the heart of the poor, and the weary, perishing, bitter men. I forget their want. I saw it once, and I forgot my troubles. My heart took comfort from distress. My body seemed to fly for joy, as if on the wings of the eagles there was a basin brimming like Solomon's basin, but not on the backs of bulls like his. Lions stood around its edge, roar, with wells in their innards and mouths gushing water. They made you think of whelps that roar for prey, for they had wells inside them, wells that emitted water and streams through their mouths like rivers. Then there were canals with doves planted by them, does that were hollow apart from water, and sprinkling the plants planted in the garden beds, casting pure water upon them, watering the myrtle garden, tree tops fresh and sprinkling. Everything was fragrant as spices, everything as if it were perfumed with myrrh. Birds were singing in the boughs, peering through the palm fronds, and there were fresh and lovely blossoms, rose, narcissus, saffron, each one boasting that he was the best, though we thought everyone was beautiful. The narcissus said, we are so white, we rule the sun and moon and the stars. The doves complained as such talk and said, now we are the princesses here, to see our neck rings, with which we charm the hearts of men. Dear far than pearls, the bucks rose up against the girls, and darkened with their splendor their own, boasting that they were the best of all, because they are like young rams. And but when the sun rose over them, I cried, halt, do not cross the boundaries. If capital folk should ask, how were they? I ever showed them of yonder mountain cherry. A single sprig is what I need, indeed. A dialogue occurred, I happen to know, betwixt the white eagle and the crow. Birds we are, said the crow, and the main friends we are, and thus we shall remain. Birds we are, agreed the eagle, only in my name. Our temperaments, alas, are not the same. My leftovers are a king's feast. Carrion you devour to say the least. My perch is the king's arm, is patless my bed. You haunt the ruins, mingle with the dead. My color is heavenly, as everyone can tell. Your color inflicts pain. I am insane, singing beautiful mystical poetry all night and all day.